Welcome to the Cory and Cody Show. My name is Cory, and with me is nobody this week. We've had some technical difficulties this weekend. Hopefully we can get that fixed and resolved by next weekend so we can get me and Cody back on the show. Obviously, I am the one doing the producing and everything, so I can bring the show regardless of my situation. So, a lot of stuff to talk about this week. It's been a jam-packed week full of great sports content, great all types of stuff. Olympics, the Penn State's sanctions came out this week. We have baseball trades being made left and right, and NFL training camp is here. So excited, so jacked for this season. I think it's gonna be a great year all around for football. I think that we're gonna see a lot of stuff that we didn't expect to happen. So we're gonna get started straight away with the Penn State sanctions. If you've been living in a closet all week, then you might not have heard the Penn State sanctions. I will read them. They are as follows. They were fined $60 million, which is about the annual gross income of the football team. $60 million fine. They are vacating all of the wins from the 98 to 2011 season. That's 112 wins, 111 which belong to Joe Paterno. They are banned from the postseason for 4 years. They have a 4-year scholarship reduction, 10 initial. And I've heard this different ways. I got my source from ESPN, and it says 4 years, 10 initial, and 20 total. I've heard that it's 40 total, 10 over 4 years. So it could be either way. We will find out soon. I don't know. I looked at several different places and saw it reported several different ways. So I think that either way, 20 or 40, it's going to hit them hard. Players, the biggest part of this whole thing, players can transfer and play immediately at other schools. Athletic department is on a probation of 5 years, and the loss of wins means that Joe Paterno is now 5th on the FBS all-time list. Crazy. A lot of stuff to take in. I think the biggest two things to hit on here. Vacating of the wins. Obviously, there's a lot of talk. With this. A lot of people saying that this isn't sanctioned. That this isn't. The players didn't do anything. Why are we taking away wins from the program? The players didn't do anything. My take on this is Joe Paterno is a recruiting machine. He was probably at Penn State for the last 10 to 15 years only for a recruiting face, and now he's not. If in '98, when this stuff all first happened, if he would have been taken out of the program, I think a lot of their recruits wouldn't have been at Penn State, and I definitely think it was an unfair advantage. I have no problem with this. I definitely think that Penn State losing these wins, maybe not necessary, but I don't think it's a bad move by the NCAA. I think that it's very warranted. They definitely had an unfair advantage having Joe Paterno there. And when he otherwise wouldn't have been there, but it is what it is. It's done. And then the other big thing coming out of this is the players may transfer. So we heard almost right away Ross Douglas, a freshman commit to Penn State, recommitted to Michigan. That's a pretty big deal. Anytime you lose a star recruit and he commits within the Big Ten somewhere else, that's a big deal. So he is gone, and I haven't looked at it as of my last bit of knowledge. Silas Redd had met Thursday with USC with head coach Lane Kiffin, and he was traveling to California to visit the USC campus. I think this is the biggest hit to the football program and to everything, is the fact that these players can transfer with no penalty. I think it's a huge move by the NCAA to do this to Penn State, and there's players taking it. Personally, I see it two ways. If you're a junior or a senior, and you're at Penn State, you've been there for 2 or 3 years. I think you feel committed to the program, you feel committed to the school. Or if you have been a lifelong Penn State fan, you've always dreamed of playing there, and you've got your opportunity, you definitely are going to stay, and I would stay in those situations. But that being said, at the same time, if you're a freshman or if you're a sophomore, like you want to win, and but that's so it's a flip of a coin if you stay or go, and I think a lot of people are gonna stay. You have a team camaraderie. You know, if you've been there, you've gone to battle with these players. On Saturdays. So your time and commitment is to Penn State and to that football program. So that being said, it's a pretty big deal to see if Penn State can manage to even play 500 football next year. I think they will. I really think that Penn State will be able to play at a decently high level. Obviously, there's some loss and some hard feelings, and a new coach, a new staff, players. But the players are going to have fire under their legs at all times. They're going to come out gunning. They're going to come out just absolutely rearing to just put Penn State pride back on that turf in front of their 100+ thousand crowds that they draw out there. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to affect them. When this first came out and it was first said, I said that these sanctions were worse than the death penalty. I told several people that these sanctions are going to hurt Penn State for 8 to 10 years, whereas the death penalty is like a one and done. If they got hit for one year of the death penalty, then they would be back they would be back in the mix of things. They could recruit all year this year, saying, "Hey, let's return Nittany pride, return it back to what it was," and that could be a really big selling point for these coaches, right? So the coaches could have really used the death penalty as a far less punishment. I don't think it would have hit Penn State like it did SMU a few years back or several years back, but it definitely would have hit them a lot harder. I think it would have hit them less hard than this is going to hit them. Because I mean, even if it's 20 or 40 scholarships, that's a lot of people. You're going to lose a lot of depth, a lot of talent that you could have otherwise signed, and it's going to hit you for up to 8 years. Where 8 years from now, you're still going to be missing, scholarships that you could have otherwise had. So, I think it's a big deal. I think it's a huge, huge deal for Penn State to get these sanctions. Some of the players within Penn State, exclusively Michael Mauti, I don't know if I'm saying that right, have made some statements. They talked to the press, I believe it was on Wednesday. They came out and said some stuff. He had two quotes that really, really hit with me. One being, quote, "This program was not built by one man. This program sure as hell is not going to get torn down by one man," end quote. I think I don't know who he's pointing the finger at, whether it's Paterno, Sandusky, or the NCAA. So whoever he's pointing the finger at, he's really doing it hard, and he's I don't know. Penn State kind of was built by one man, in my fucking opinion. So Paterno is the founder, the blacksmith, the whatever of Penn State. So I don't know. That program was definitely built by one person, and whether or not it will be taken down by one man is yet to be seen. He also had another quote that was, quote, "This is what Penn State is about. Fighting through adversity. We're going to show up every Saturday, and we're going to raise hell." End quote. And that's exactly what I was saying. These players are going to show up every single Saturday, and they're just gonna lay it all on the line. They have nothing to play for except for Penn State pride. So it's a really big deal. I think that they will show up, and they will just go to work every Saturday and every day of the week to really show the world that you can bring them down, but you're not going to keep them down. So Penn State's got a lot of trials and tribulations ahead of them to really see if they can nail this down. Personally, I think these sanctions are completely fair. I think they deserve every single one of these. When you hide a child molester in your your premises, when you allow him to do these things, you allow him to bring them on campus, you know it's happening, and you just hide it from forces. Even not even hiding, you don't even take it upon yourself to do anything about it. You do nothing at all. You deserve every bit of this. And if the president and AD don't serve some type of jail time, I will be very upset with how that turns out, because it's sick and it's disgusting, and I think Penn State completely and totally deserves this. Yes, it's kind of unfair for the players and the future athletes of Penn State to take this hit, but they have their own choice to go to that school or not. So it is what it is, and it's the university signed off on the sanctions and they agreed to them. So there's nothing they can do about them, and that's it is what it is. I think it was a good call by the NCAA, and I think that the people, as far as Paterno's family and some loyal people to the thing, need to let it go. You're not getting anywhere, Penn State. If you really want to let this go and let this pass you by, drop it. The university has done that already. The university has said, hey, we messed up, we agree to what we were given, and let's move on. That's what everybody needs to do. Paterno's family is really making his legacy way worse than it needs to be. It's ruined. 10 years from now, when someone comes up to me and says, hey, Joe Paterno, what do you think? It's not going to be, oh, the greatest football coach of all time. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, the man who hid the child molester for 15 years. It's ruined. His legacy's done. Stop trying to protect it. You're making it worse for your state. Just let it go. Follow me on Twitter, @CoryTill. Follow the show on Twitter, @Cory and Cody Show. Tweet at us, @CoryTill, @Cory and Cody Show. Email us questions, thoughts, concerns, everything you want to know. Cory and Cody Show @gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what you want us to talk about. I would love to know your opinions on these issues. Moving on. Get a little sippy here. Get all fired up. Diet 7-Up. Diet. I'm not trying to lose weight, it's just all we got. Anyways, next weekend on Tuesday, baseball trade deadline, July 31st. The trade deadline hits. This week we've seen some crazy trades. I'm going to run through these trades real quick and then give you my thoughts on them. Whether it's the right trade, the wrong trade, or they still need to go get more as far as these teams are concerned. The first and biggest trade probably is Greinke. Last week we talked about him getting offered the Brewers contract, over $100 million. And I guess he decided he didn't want it. He wants a championship, man, and I don't blame him. Greinke traded from the Brewers to the Angels for a top prospect out of the Angels organization and 2 pitchers out of the Angels minor league system. So Angels are just renting a pitcher for a year, giving up some prospects. From what I heard, their second best prospect, ranked by Baseball in America, or Baseball USA. So Greinke going to the Angels, in my opinion, it makes the Angels the best staff in baseball, hands down. I don't think there's an argument to it. I've had people argue this with me. Cody argued this with me the other day. But it's by far Santana, C.J. Wilson, I'm drawing a blank, Greinke, and Weaver. Those 4 in the postseason, give me a break. Like, there's not a single rotation in baseball that can touch that at all, hands down. And in my opinion, as of right now, with the Rangers not making a move, I think this puts the Angels as the front runner to win the AL Central, North, whatever, West, the West. I'm used to the Rangers being Central, West. So that's the. I don't know. I don't know. I just the Angels. It's a huge move by the Angels. I think that it really secured their spot in the postseason. They're fighting with the A's right now, but it's the A's. We'll see what happens with them. I'll talk about them in a little while. The next big trade was Hanley Ramirez goes to the Dodgers, and he's been on fire since they traded him. Uh, what? The Dodgers go out and grab Hanley Ramirez, and not only do they grab him, but they put him in the lineup, and he just produces. I think it's a great move by the Dodgers. I said it last week. The Dodgers needed a bat to go along with their good pitching staff that they have, and it's just it's a really huge move, and it's perfect. I think the Dodgers really made a good move with this. I don't think there's anything else I can really say about it that needs to be said. I think it was a premier move for them, and the Dodgers are going to make a run, and it's going to be strong, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them make a postseason run here. Ichiro Suzuki was traded to the Yankees. My thoughts on this: Ichiro's batting below 240, but I believe he was batting about 232, 238, something like that, when he was traded on the Mariners. Worst season of his career. I really do believe, Ichiro in the Yankees lineup is going to be remarkable. The guy's going to get on base, he's going to steal, and that lineup produces. I think he's going to score more runs in the second half from the time he was traded to the end of the year. I think he will score almost as many runs as anybody else in the league. I think he'll be in the top 10 from that time period. Second half of the year, Ichiro will score top 10 runs. And that lineup, I mean, when he gets on base, he's batting like 8th-ish. When I saw the other night, his first game, he batted 8th. And then when you get to the top of that lineup, I mean, you have Granderson and the rest of the Yankees lineup that just is killer. So I think it was a great move by the Yankees. I don't think anybody saw it coming, and we'll see what it does. I think it was a great move. I think the Yankees do need to go out and grab another bat now that Alex Rodriguez is out pretty much for the year. So we will see. We will definitely see how that turns out. I still think the Yankees still need work, in my opinion. I don't think that bullpen is strong enough by itself to make a postseason run. I definitely think that it needs some work. It's good. It's really good. It's probably top 5 in the AL, but I just think that I don't know. I could see a Rangers team who also doesn't have that great of a bullpen just outscoring the Yankees, and just winning some 7-5 games or something like that in like the first or second round of the postseason. So I think the Yankees, if they could find a way to go out and grab a Cliff Lee or something else here before Tuesday, I think it would be really good. Whoa, excuse me. Next, Marco Scutaro traded to San Francisco. I said again last week. I said that's a great rotation. Matt Cain and Lincecum and the rest of the San Francisco's the Giants bullpen and starting rotation is good. And adding Scutaro to their lineup is going to make them even better. I think it's a good move as well. I don't think anybody's made a move yet that I'm questioning. I guess the Yankees Ichiro trade's the biggest questionable trade to see if that works out, but I'm confident in that it will. And the Scooter Road to San Francisco one is another one I don't really have too much of an opinion on. I think it's a good trade, and San Francisco's the San Francisco Dodgers, this run towards the end of the year is going to be really, really interesting. I think they're both making good moves. They're both pushing forward, so we will see as far as that goes. Teams, there's some teams that haven't made a move yet, and it's really interesting to see. I think the AL West is the best place to look at this. The Rangers, as of when I wrote these show notes, were 4 games ahead in the AL West. I think it might be 3.5. I'm not sure. Either way, they're 4 games. They're about 4-3, somewhere in there. 4 games ahead in the AL West. Kobe Lewis is done for the year, and they haven't made a move. They haven't got anybody. They haven't, from what I know, from what I've read, they haven't looked at anybody. If they don't make a move, I think they're done. I think they're dead. I think they're treading water, and I really do think that they're done. I would love to know if they're Josh McDaniels is working to get, if he's working to make a trade, because they need something. They need something to spark that rotation. They don't have an ace. You can talk to me about Yu Darvish being an ace all you want. I said at the beginning of the year he was an ace when he pitched 4 games. Guess what? He's 1-3 in his last 4 starts with like 18 earned runs. That's not very good. So they need something to really spark that rotation, spark that bullpen. They need to add something, or they need to do something, mess with the lineup, get some people hitting consistently. I did see that Josh Hamilton was back in the lineup today on Sunday, the 28th? 29th. He's batting 5th, which is a little bit different. I don't remember the last time he hit 5th in the lineup. And also the A's. The A's have surged here in the second half. I personally don't think that this is going to last. It's the A's, and they're, I don't know, they weren't, the team's just not that good. My opinion. I think they need a lot of work. I think there's some young talent on that team they're going to be good for the next 2-3 years, but I think right now it's not their time. I think they will kind of die off here in the next few weeks, but who knows? Maybe they go make a move. Maybe they go grab somebody that we're not expecting them to go grab, and maybe they make a really strong push here in the end. But we won't know. We will definitely not know until we find out. Follow me at Twitter, at Cory Till. Follow the show at Cory and Cody Show. You can email us questions, concerns, or improvements, needed improvements. Cory and Cody Show at gmail.com. All this stuff is up here. I love to tweet and talk about stuff with my funny one-liners. If you like that type of Twitter, I talk about sports, games, everything else. You can follow me at Cory Till. Follow the show at Cory and Cody Show. We ask questions to our audience that we hope to have someday at Cory and Cody Show. Tweet us questions or your comments on the show. Not tweet us, email us at Cory and Cody Show at gmail.com. And I'm going to move on. I wish, in the future, when I'm on the radio someday, and I can go to break, it's going to be so nice. Follow me at Cory and Cody, Cory Till. Follow the show, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to take a break. And then I go over here and I get a drink. And then I read the next thing, and then I'm ready. But I don't have that luxury. I just keep reading. NFL training camps opened this week. I thought we would go over and under on last season's wins, just because there's not much to talk about with training camp in the first 3 days. I mean, they kind of show up, and Peyton Manning puts pads on, and they take a bunch of pictures, and they talk about how good he's going to be. But you know what? The Broncos are going to be good. They're going to be really good. They're going to win that division hands down, and they may win a playoff game or two. But we will see. The Detroit Lions, over and under 10 wins last season, under. They will not win 10 games. They will be lucky to win 8 games. I do see them making the wild card at 8-8 or 9-7. But it's got to be close. I will take the under. 10 wins on Detroit. I don't think there's any way that Matthew Stafford, he does have Megatron. Maybe they can win 10 games. I take the under. I don't think there's any way. No way. Now we're going to go straight NFC East. Giants, Philly, Dallas, Washington. The Giants, over and under 9 wins. Giants, I take 9. I think they're going to push, honestly. I think they will win 9 games again. 9-7. They're gonna be. It's the same team. They didn't really lose much. They added some depth on defense. I think it's gonna be a good team. And that defense is really good, and they're really good at winning in that division. So that division's gonna be it's the toughest division in football, I think, by far. The Philadelphia Eagles, 8-8 last season. I see them going under. I see them going 7-9 this season. Only because I think Dallas and Washington will go over their 8-5 wins. Some of that coming from beating Philly this year, which neither did last year. So Washington might have won a game. I think that they will both beat Philly this year. I think Dallas. I'm saying over on Dallas. Over 8 wins. I think they win the division. I think they win 10 games. And this is why. Tony Romo is going to have the year of his life. Email is right there. So you can email me and tell me Tony Romo is going to suck. It's okay. Tony Romo is going to have a great year. Let me tell you why. Des Bryant's going to have a great year. That's why. Tony Romo is going to have the best year of his career. You remember all these things we talk about December and all this stuff about, December, Tony Romo shuts down. He's the LeBron James of football. He doesn't know what the fourth quarter is. Guess what? Not this year. Tony Romo shows up this year. He is the great quarterback that we've been waiting to see, that everybody talks about. Tony Romo will have a tremendous year this year. Call it right now. You could tweet at me and tell me I'm an idiot. It's okay. I've defended him for 5 years now. I'm not defending him anymore. I'm just saying it. He's going to have a great year, and then when he doesn't, I'll come back on the show, and I'll eat my words, and I will tell you how terrible he is, because that's the type of person I am. But I say Tony Romo's going to have a great year this year, and I'm calling it now. I'm drafting him in the first round of my fantasy draft. That's a lie. Washington, over and under 5 wins. I think they will go over. I think they will win 6 to 7 games. They're going to be better. RG3 is a great addition to that team. I think they will. I think they'll definitely be better. But they're young. They're going to need some work. So it's a work. It's a work in progress in Washington. I give them 2-3 years maybe. Let RG3 really develop into the quarterback that they hope him to be, and we'll find out how good they'll be. But I will take the over. I think they will win more games. They're also not playing as hard a schedule as they did last year. So that's one thing to be noted. San Francisco, 13 wins last year. San Francisco, how did you get 13 wins last year, San Francisco? I had a great time. I visited San Francisco last year. I saw the Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers at Candlestick Park. It was a great game. Great game. My family almost got in. We almost had to kill a dude. Not really. long story short, some assholes in San Francisco. They didn't appreciate the Cowboys winning a game they should not have won. And I would love to go back to San Francisco. So don't get me wrong about that, San Franciscans. It was a great city, great experience. I'd love to go back. But you're not winning 13 games this year. It's not happening. Alex Smith is not that good. I don't care what receiving core you put around him, Randy Moss, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Alex Smith is not that good. They will not win 13 games. They will still win that terrible division because nobody else in it has a chance of winning 8 games. So San Francisco wins the division. They do not win 13 games. Fact. Now we move over to Houston. I got the burps today. This 7-Up's getting to me. Houston, over and under 10 wins. I say over. I think Houston wins 13 games this year. It's a hard schedule. It's a really hard schedule. I think Houston is considered the best team in football by the end of the year. They have a ridiculous schedule other than playing the awesome Colts twice. It's a hard schedule, but I think they win 13 games. And so I'll take over on Houston. I think it's a great team. They've lost very little, but what they did lose, they proved that they could win without last year. So and they didn't have Matt Chubb last year for what 6-8 games, something like that. I think Houston easily wins 13 games this year, and I'm very excited to hopefully go get to see some of those games this year because they're a fun to watch team, and I think everybody needs to watch out for Houston. Houston goes to the Super Bowl this year. Said that last week. Houston wins the AFC this year. Buffalo over and under 6 wins. I think Buffalo 6 wins. I don't know how. I mean, they started off so strong last year and then just crumbled. I definitely think they will win more than 6 games. I think they will at least go 8-8. That division is good, but it's, Patriots and Jets and Buffalo, they're all going to be good. One of those teams has to be better than the rest. It's probably the Jets or the Patriots. But I think Buffalo is going to have they're going to have a good chance of going 8-8. Good chance of making the wild card. We'll just see if the Jets fall apart like they tend to do, or if the Patriots have a less than great season. And Denver. They won 8 games last year with Tim Tebow, the worst quarterback in the NFL. Does Peyton Manning make that team better? I don't know. I tried to come up with something there off the top of my head. Didn't work. Does Peyton Manning make the Broncos better? Yes. Peyton Manning makes the Broncos grow up. They go from Colts to Broncos. Peyton Manning is going to make that team unbelievably good, just like he's done for so many years in Indianapolis. I think that Indy really feeded off of Peyton Manning, and it proved it last year when he was gone, and they were terrible, just like they're going to be this year, even with Andrew Luck, who is at best a average quarterback right now. Can't argue that. He has no proven talent in the NFL. We don't know how he will adjust to the game. Denver in that division, it's going to be a manslaughter. Peyton Manning is going to tear that division apart just like he has forever. Go look at the stats of the Colts versus that division when Peyton Manning was on the Colts. It's disgusting. Peyton Manning is going to just annihilate everything. They're going to win a ton of games, and I think it's just going to be a massacre. You can follow me on Twitter at Cory Till. You can follow the show at Cory and Cody Show. You could email the show at Cory and Cody Show, thoughts, concerns, questions, and future topics you would like us to discuss at CoryCodyShow@gmail.com. Twitter. Ask us questions. Ask about me. Ask about life. Ask about the Olympics. The next topic, the Olympics. The opening ceremony. Opening ceremony was good. I watched almost the whole thing. I thought that that London did a fantastic job. The moving through time and all of the culture and the literature and everything. I thought it was fantastic. The movies, the Queen's entrance, parachuting into the stadium. I thought it was all great. I thought they did a fantastic job. The rings, I thought that was awesome. The rings being forged and then lifted and the fireworks. I thought it was great. I thought they did a fantastic job on it. And so far the Olympics have been good. I think it's been good so far. The Aquatic Center. Did you see the Aquatic Center? This thing is crazy. This thing is an architectural phenomenon. It's like steep and then narrow and then flat. Like the roof above the pool is like the roof in my room, like 8 foot, and then the sides go like grandstand. It's crazy. If you haven't seen it, Google it. Google a picture of the. Actually, I'll Google it. London Aquatic Center. Let me Google this really quickly because it is crazy. It blew my mind. London Aquatic Center. Images. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at that. What is that? It's insane. It's so crazy. Look at more pictures. Look. Look at this. I don't know. I was amazed by what they did in London with the Aquatic Center and everything. Some topics on the Olympics. Gold or not? Does Phelps get his 3 medals? Well, we know he got 1 and he's lost 1, which means he has 5 chances. 5 chances to get 2 medals. He got a silver in the 4x100. He got off to a great start, and then Lochte, of course, fucks it up. Fucks up the gold for America. Good job, Lochte. You win a gold the night before and then screw up the relay team. Good job. But does he get 3 medals after losing the 400 IM? I definitely think he will still get his 2 medals that he needs now. He's got some of his best events still ahead, and he'll get it. He'll become the most decorated Olympian of all time. It will happen. U.S. men's basketball, do they get the gold or not? I think they do. They stomped France today. We're actually recording this on Sunday instead of Saturday like last week. Or I am, rather. Do they get gold or not? I do. I definitely think they do get the gold. And I think they do it handily. I think Argentina and Spain are their biggest competition, and they've beat both of them already. So I think it's definitely it's in their hands. And if you had to bet, if you had $1 million hypothetically, and you were betting it on the Olympics, what would you bet it on? This was a better question when we had 2 people to discuss this, because I looked up the facts on this. The biggest lock of the Olympics, Chinese women's table tennis. They've never lost a gold in the 24-year running of women's singles table tennis. Never dropped a gold. Not only that, Chinese table tennis, overall men's and women's, they've taken 41 medals. And the closest second place is South Korea at 17. Biggest lock of the Olympics, Chinese women's table tennis. Count it. With the Olympics, though, always brings some controversies. There's been a few come out right this week. One of the first ones this week was the Greek Olympian that was banned for the racist tweet. It read, quote, "With so many Africans in Greece, at least the West Nile mosquitoes will eat homemade food." Wow. That's racist. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, Twitter is so global. It's so out there. Everything you say is recorded. It's put into somebody's little memory bank, and you can take pictures of it, and there's so many facts that can be said about it. Why, if you're an Olympic athlete that does this type of stuff, why would you put this out there? Why would you do that? I'm not sure. She definitely probably deserved to be banned from the Olympics. It's an international event, and when you're talking internationally about another continent or country or type of person, you probably should not be able to compete against those people. My opinion, I don't know. You also had the pregnant Malaysian that competed in the 10-meter air rifle. The 10-meter air rifle. I don't know if you understand this. 10 meters. That's like 30-ish feet, 31 feet. 10 meters? Why is this an Olympic fucking sport? Are you serious? 10 meters? How much skill does it take? If I practice for 4 years, I think I could be pretty good at 10-meter air rifle. Just saying. Hashtag just saying. Pretty sure I could be good at it. I'm not sure what they're shooting, but even if I'm aiming at a little bitty fucking bullseye at 31 feet, I'm pretty sure I could hit it. Practice for 4 years, I bet I could do it consistently. I bet I could do it in 30 tries, and I bet I could do it consistently in 4 years. It just scratches my head that that's an event. Anyways, that's not the topic. 8 months pregnant, she competed in this event. She did not medal at the event. I think it's great that Malaysia let her compete in an event. Obviously, there is no health risk in the 10-meter air rifle. Not going out and shooting a 44. It's an air rifle. It's a BB gun. Come on. 10-meter air rifle. I'm not sure how that's athletic or takes a ton of skill. It's hand-eye coordination and steadiness and stuff that I'm sure that I developed after gaming for 8 hours a day for several years of my life. Just saying. Also, maybe the biggest controversy of the Olympics. There's no air conditioning, or there was. I'm not sure. I haven't read any updates on it. No air conditioning in the Olympic Village. The players arrived. There was no air conditioning in their dormitories. And the controversy of it all, the British athletes have air conditioning. None of the rest of the world has air conditioning, but the British athletes do. Now, this sounds like something Americans would do, personally. Be like, look, you're coming to our country, we're going to turn off your air conditioning to give our athletes an advantage. But the British did it. London. Wow. I guess it happens. I mean, Lolo Jones tweeted that day, or the day she got there, quote, no air conditioners. It's hot in the rooms. No need to practice. Just lay in your bed and sweat. Where are the applications for the Winter Olympics? Question mark, question mark, end quote. I think it's great. This is what I love about Twitter and the change in our age or this day and age is we can really get these connections with these people. Yes, we would have found out about this through media and through everything if there wasn't Twitter. But I mean, we knew instantly, and we know how they feel about it. Also, when this happened, Lolo Jones also tweeted a picture of Olympic basketball player Tyson Chandler laying in the beds there, and look at that. Feet hanging off. The beds are like 5 foot 8 inches. Obviously, Tyson Chandler's over 7 foot tall. I think it's a pretty funny picture of Tyson Chandler's feet hanging off the end of the bed. And we will see. I don't know. I think it's probably intentional. And the weather's been in the high 80s during the day. Obviously, now that the games have started, the people are in their rooms a lot less. It's probably not that big of a deal at this point in time. I'm the type of person, though, I like it cold, I like it freezing when I'm sleeping, so I think this would definitely bother me. But I don't know. I want it cold, ice cold. I want icicles hanging from the roof. I like getting under my blanket and snuggling all up. That's just the type of person I am. So I think this would be terrible. I'd be complaining. I'd go sleep in the lobby. I'd find AC. And my biggest complaint of the Olympics so far is no live coverage, at least during prime time. All of the prime time events that we see on NBC are all recorded. Problem with that: Twitter, YouTube, one Google search. Everything is posted real time on the internet now. So if I'm following at London 2012, which I do, and I follow TweetDeck pretty often. I click on it at least once every 30 minutes or so when I'm sitting at my computer screen and read some updates. And I click on that, and then boom, it pops up at London 2012 gold medalist. All these gold medals. I don't have any reason to watch NBC at night. None at all. I know who won before they even show it. Why would I even think about watching it? And the Olympics is only interesting because you don't know who's going to win, and it's the best athletes in the world. Well, kind of. And I don't know. I think that they've messed up with this. I think they should just show it live, even if it's at 1, 2, 3 o'clock. 1, 2, or 3 o'clock local Central Time for me. I would watch it, especially on the weekends. So I don't know. I disagree with it. You could show it again later. I mean, there's no difference. We know who won regardless of if you show it for us or not. We know. We're connected enough now to know. I definitely think that this is something that they need to change, and they need to really think about why they did this. I don't like it. Anyways, maybe it's just me because I'm connected to the world and to the interwebs and all of that, and I pay attention to it all. So maybe I'm the only person in the world that disagrees with NBC not showing this stuff live and makes me feel like I'm in some sort of a time machine that I'm clearly not. Anyways, I am Cory Till. At Cory Till is where you find me on Twitter. I tweet about gaming, sports. I tweet about sports, gaming. I try to be humorous on Twitter. I'm a pretty funny guy most of the time on Twitter. I can think a lot more behind a keyboard than I can staring at this camera right off the top of my head. You can follow the show at Cory and Cody Show. Email us at coryandcodyshow@gmail.com. Questions, concerns, anything you would like to know. If you would like to throw some money at my face to help the production of the show, I would love to have it. At coryandcodyshow@gmail.com is where you let us know everything you want to know about the show and what you would like us to talk about on the future episodes of the Cory and Cody Show. At Cory and Cody Show is where we put show updates. We ask questions to the audience. We do all of that on at Cory and Cody Show. My name is Cory, and thanks for watching. Until next week, this is the Cory and Cody Show.